Oh my gosh, when I tell you being hangry is a real thing, okay? Because some of y'all get really upset when you don't have food in that belly. Hi, welcome back to with Sherry McMillan. I'm Sherry. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about the real reasons why you're irritated and annoyed with life. We just got to talk about this, okay? Because I encounter so many individuals who get so irritated and annoyed with life. And I have definitely been there too, so I'm not above this at all. This is the reason why I know the reasons why this is occurring in your life right now. Okay, so I have 7 different reasons. I would love to know if there are more that you feel like you may be irritated or annoyed, or if you feel like you resonate with any of these 7. Number 1, you may feel powerless. And before I go into that, so let's just talk about the fact that like you feel irritated and annoyed and you're like blaming other people. You're blaming, maybe you are thinking like, I don't know, my mood is up and down. And what social media loves to say is that maybe you got bipolar disorder. As a therapist, it's likely that you could have it, but it's also likely that you are just not in a place where you're managing your own emotions effectively. We just got to say it. All right. So moving on. Number 1, you may feel powerless. You may feel powerless in your position, in the place that you're in your life, the situation, the circumstance. Maybe within a relationship, whether it's family or professional or romantic, you may be feeling powerless, where you feel like you are being controlled by other people or the actual situation or your environment. And I understand that very well. And when you're in this place, you will feel very irritated because you feel trapped, right? You feel like you are not able to have control over your own life. And what I would say about that is really to analyze who took your power. Who took your power either by force, or did you give your power away? And we go into so many things about that, but that is something that you really need to acknowledge in yourself at first, so that you would know how to move forward. So once you realize what that is, now you will know the type of work that you need to do in order to get your own power back, to take your power back from someone, from a situation. And maybe you need to do that with a therapist. I'm a therapist, so I'm always going to say therapy. Or maybe you need to do that with a coach. Or perhaps you need to do that with maybe a family or friend, someone that is supportive and can give you that space to help you with those building blocks for them. The second one, you're trying to control and it's not working, right? So maybe you're in a place where you're trying to control a situation. You're trying to control, let's be honest, people and their behaviors, their actions, their words, their opportunities. Like you're trying to control every single aspect of what other people are doing, or this situation, this environment, which has other people involved, where you are not just the person who can say that things go or don't go. If you're in that place, you're definitely annoyed and you're so frustrated, you're so irritated because you're trying to control things that are out of your control. When it comes to control, you can only do that for yourself. You can only control your behaviors. You can only control your actions, your reactions, your responses. You can only control what you can control, which is yourself. I talk about this all the time in therapy, and it's so interesting because there are situations where we don't even realize we're trying to control. And just the other day, I was listening to a video and how caregiving women, like mothers, wives, housewives, or whatever, or if you're in that space, you tend to control much more or you tend to have a need to control much more because you do want the home to be ran, in a smooth and effective manner. You want to ensure that all those around you that you're caring for, that you're loving on, are in a place of having all the things that they need, and they know that they're cared for, they know that they're loved. And in order for those things to happen, sometimes there are things that have to line up in a certain way, right? And so when you're doing that, you're trying to control the situation. You're trying to control the way that people respond to maybe the things that you say or the requests that you have for them, even in your household or even outside of your household. And that is also control. That's also control when you want to present something to someone because you think that it is a great idea. You think that it's amazing. You think that it's going to really solve maybe an issue, and in response to your idea, you want them to be on board with it. That is also control. When I watched that video the other day, that really blew my mind because I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so true. That is also control. And so moving into number 3, you're shooting for perfection. And this really ties into the second one about controlling, because when you're in a place of perfection, you want all things to go exactly the way that you think they're supposed to go. And when they don't, what happens? You're mad, you're irritated, you're annoyed, you're frustrated, and it is so overwhelming, right? Because you're like, oh my gosh, I had everything in place. It was supposed to go like this. If they would have just showed up when they were supposed to show up, they were supposed to just do what they were supposed to have been doing. If this thing would have arrived when it was supposed to arrive, and the weather wouldn't have done this, and maybe the electricity wouldn't have done that, and I would have been able to show up in this magnificent superhero way, all these things would have worked out just like they were supposed to, but they didn't. Because you're shooting for perfection, so you're going to be irritated and you're going to be annoyed. Release and know that 1, you can't control everything. 2, perfection provides protection. You think that it does, but in essence, it only provides increased anxiety, increased frustration, increased irritation, increased annoyance, because it is so very unlikely that things are going to go perfect every single time. You are fighting a losing battle at that point if you feel like perfection is the goal and it's what you have to have. It's not going to work. It's not. Number 4, you're questioning your decisions about stuff. If you don't have that confidence in yourself to be like, hey, I'm going to make a decision, I'm going to move forward with it, I have all the evidence to why I need to make this particular decision. Perhaps you're going to move to another city, another part of town. You're going to move out of an apartment and move into a house, and you want to make that decision. But as soon as you make the decision, you're questioning it, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Should I have done that? Was it time? Is this the right decision for me? Is it the right time for this? Do I have everything that I need? Maybe I need more. Maybe there's more things that I need to work on. Have confidence in your decision-making skills. Even if you feel like you haven't made the best decisions, stand up with your shoulders back and your head held high, acknowledging that You made a decision. Maybe the outcome wasn't what you expected it to be, but you made a decision. Learn from the mistakes, learn from the failures, autocorrect, and keep moving forward. When it comes to decision making and building that confidence up about your decisions, I always say start small. Start small with and being intentional about making decisions in your daily life. So make a decision about what you're going to wear and how you're going to be seen. Make a decision how you're going to make yourself up. Make a decision about the food you're actually going to eat and have reason behind it. Say you're going to wear maybe some ripped up jeans and a crop top. You're going to throw your Converse on and you're going to throw a hat on. Got it. Make that decision. Go out into the world, do whatever you need to do, and when people look at you, or if somebody stares, points at your midsection, know that you made a decision to wear that crop top and wear that skin out. No matter how or what your body looks like, you made that decision, you stand behind it, and you move forward with it. But make a decision and let it be what you want. What do you feel like eating? Maybe it is the greasy hamburger from McDonald's. Maybe not my choice, but it's your choice. It's your decision. And that is what matters the most. When you start to do that and you stand behind your decision, you're very intentional about the small decisions, because we're making decisions all day long. I made a decision to turn the camera on today. After all this time of not doing it, of procrastinating, of creating the list, creating the outline, the guidelines, I still made the decision to do it today. I made that decision. Bam, you move forward with it. And when you're making those small decisions, it's like the building blocks. It's like the building blocks that keep on going up. And that's why I recommend the small ones. They're going to lead to the big ones, and you're going to have more confidence in yourself. You're not speaking up. And that is annoying you. That is irritating you, because you feel like you're not being heard. But in essence, maybe you're not speaking up. Maybe you're not speaking up at the time where you can be heard. Maybe you're keeping your opinion, your ideas, your problem solving skills to yourself for whatever reason. Maybe it's self-confidence. Maybe you just are a little bit confused about the process. Maybe who you're trying to share your ideas with, your opinions with, they're just not in a place to listen. But you're irritated and you're annoyed by that. That's why I empower you to go ahead and speak up. If you are engaging with someone who isn't always a person that is accepting of someone else's viewpoint, keep your calm. Let them speak. And lead in with, now that you have spoken, I have something to say, and I would respect if you would listen to me. And if they do, great. But if they don't, you still speak with precision. You still speak with confidence. And you do it with your head held high. I don't know, maybe I'm just old school in that way, to where I'm like, hold your head up, girl, and put your shoulders back. And you speak like you're supposed to be speaking, like someone is supposed to be listening to you. And if all else fails, go to social media and let your ideas be heard. Go and let your ideas, your opinions, your problem-solving skills be heard. If you don't have anyone in your life who is ready and willing to listen, then you speak, you create your own platform. Because you sitting around being annoyed and being irritated because you're not speaking up, you're holding it all in, you feel like you got something to share but you can't share it. No, you better speak up, because you don't have time to be sitting around here on all this stuff that you got just brewing inside of you. Number 6, you're not tending to your basic needs. Oh my gosh, when I tell you being hangry is a real thing, okay? Because some of y'all get really upset when you don't have food in that belly and it hadn't been in there for quite some time. I am even a person who, it has to be a very long time that I have not ate like literally anything, not even a snack, not a piece of candy, nothing, for me to feel like super irritated to where it feels like I'm annoyed and I'm really mad. Like I have to be starved almost. Tend to your basic needs. You need to eat, you need to sleep, and you need to stay hydrated. Those are such basic needs that you could go down, and tending to your basic needs is so important. Check in with yourself. Did I get enough rest last night? I don't know. Maybe that's contributing to the fact that I have zero patience for the people that I need to deal with today. I have zero patience for my family. Okay? Ask yourself, am I hydrated? Have I been drinking enough fluids? I'm not even going to say water. Have I been drinking enough fluids in order to feel hydrated, where I'm not in a space where my body is lacking something, therefore sending signals that something is missing, where I am now feeling irritated and annoyed? Have I ate today? When was the last time that I ate? Maybe if my stomach wasn't as empty, I would feel maybe a little bit of peace, maybe a little more patient, maybe a little bit happier. Check in with those basic needs. You would be surprised how often you go without those things and your body is literally screaming out for help, screaming out for those basic needs to be met. And this is the last one, and it's a serious one that I feel. You're trying to move past something without giving yourself time to heal, to acknowledge, or even validate your feelings. And I do see this in therapy with clients, because if you don't come from a family that really acknowledges or really tries to heal from certain things, instead they just want to push past it, they want to push it under the rug, they want to just leave it in the past. Hey, just don't bring it up, maybe just forget about it, maybe you just need to distract yourself some more, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. There's going to be a buildup of irritation, there's going to be a buildup of frustration, of annoyance, and it's going to be a buildup of so many more things, but especially those feelings, because your body knows. Your body knows and your mind knows that there is something that you're not healing from, that you haven't acknowledged in some time, that you're not even validating the reason why you felt that way. You need to make peace with those things. You have to make peace with those things so that the things that are bothering you, that are annoying you, that are irritating you, are not living rent-free in your mind and in your life today, in the present. Because the longer you go without healing from those things, even just acknowledging that you have the right to feel the way that you feel about those things, it's gonna constantly come up, and that's when you feel that moment where it's like, oh, everything was going fine, and then I just woke up and I'm like, I'm so irritated. I was so irritated by the fact that this person engaged me in this way. I was so irritated by the fact that this thing happened when I got in my car, or when I went to work, or when I got on social media. And you're like, I don't understand it though. I don't understand why I'm so frustrated. I don't understand why I'm so annoyed. And that is part of the work of therapy, really sifting through those feelings, those moments, those past moments, because not everyone has that ability or has even strengthened their ability to be able to be aware of their feelings and of their emotions and pinpointing where those feelings are coming from. Like, oh, I'm so disappointed because this thing didn't happen. I'm so angry because I tried and it didn't work. I encourage you to reach out to a professional, to be able to walk through, talk through, to have that space to uncover those things that are frustrating you. If you feel like you can't make it through and you can't sift through those things yourself, then get professional help. That's what we do. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I have enjoyed making it. I'll see you the next time.